Corbitt Wall from NationalBeefWire.com explains the state of the drought in Texas as of summer 2022.
Unbelievable. I was in the auction business. We owned a sale barn for a time. You love a long trailer line, but I have never seen trailer lines like the ones that I've seen here lately, especially the one they had Saturday at Emory, Texas, at Emory Livestock Auction. That is East Texas. The entire state of Texas is horrible dry. We're dry up here in the Texas Panhandle. We're used to it. But you get down there in that Dallas area, central Texas, they're used to a lot of rain. So when they get no rain, it's terrible. The ponds and creeks have dried up. Hearing stories of a lot of wells that have gone dry. They've got no way to water those cattle. Whenever they run out of water, they've got to move cattle. Also, they can't afford hay. And a lot of those pastures are grubbed completely out. And they don't have anything for those cattle to eat. They've got to move them. Hay is exorbitant. You can't afford it. And a lot of people are not even able to put up what little dry hay they got because everything costs so much, and diesel costs so much, everything costs so much, but there's been not enough growth to really put any up. And so we're just against it now. So you remember about 30 years ago, there was a horrible dry summer in Texas, and they had cow buyers going from Minnesota down into Texas to buy cows. Well, we're that bad again. It is terrible. When you've got trailers lined up 100 deep or more to unload or to sell, you start adding that up, it adds up to a lot of stock. You're usually selling somewhere short of 2,000 at Emory Livestock Auction. They had 3,500 there on Saturday. They sold until 5 o'clock in the morning. They had 527 sellers. It was just kind of eye-opening to see over 100 pickups and trailers sitting in that line, and it was unbelievable.
True story, guys. This trailer line was about 30 miles south of me, and I was actually in a similar sale barn line just the day afterwards. I dropped off 2 cull cows from my farm here. Hay bales are at a minimum of $85 each if you can find them, and I don't think it would be unrealistic to say we could be looking at prices of $100 to $125 per bale by fall. This is going to disrupt the meat supply chain in previously unforeseen ways, and that says a lot for what we've seen in the past 2 years. The cows being sold at the sale barns are ones that would normally be in production, which means they're going to feedlots and ultimately slaughterhouses likely by the end of the year, whereas these cows would have 4 to 5 more productive years on pasture, sometimes more. So instead of producing calves, they're going to be in freezers, which is going to do something good for the very short term. It's going to drive meat prices way down. Next 6 to 12 months, your hamburger is probably going to be a lot more reasonably priced, but I predict one or both of the following will happen by the end of 2023 and into 2024. And number one is that live cattle prices will absolutely explode. We're going to see an inversion. The line of people selling cattle will become a line of people buying cattle to replenish the ranches that were destocked during this time period. Texas is the largest cattle state, and if the wettest area in the largest cattle state is liquidating, it says a lot for what the entire state and ultimately what the entire nation is facing right now. But that line to buy will be shorter, unfortunately, than the line to sell. A lot of ranchers are going to be put under by not only the drought, but just the exorbitant input costs, diesel, fertilizer costs, and more. Second prediction for 2023 and 2024 is an increase in foreign beef imports to make up for the U.S. production deficit. JBS is one of the big 4 meat packers that process 80% of our nation's beef. They are Brazilian owned, and they actually have a processing facility in Argentina that has the capacity to slaughter and process 500,000 head per year. And to be honest, as a business, it wouldn't be a bad idea to draw on that supply to make up for the deficit. But what that does is it becomes a crutch for production. It becomes a crutch for the American consumer, who becomes accustomed to the lower price points that foreign beef does allow for. And so this increased reliance on imports as a result of U.S. production deficit is going to further break down U.S. food infrastructure. And this is where I'm looking straight at you. If you have 3 acres, if you have 5 acres, I want to encourage you, number one, buy the book. not on Amazon, but at shopshepherdess.com. Go get one of these cheap cows that are on the market right now and raise your own beef. If you guys are interested also in drought proofing your operation, Quality Pasture has a chapter, page 188 to 191, dedicated to beginner level drought management tips, and these have been tips that I have implemented for my operation. Both books are available at shopshepherdess.com. Praise the Lord, my pasture is not looking too bad. Now the regrowth is super slow, and the destocking process has commenced. I am down to just 3 keeper cows from that big herd. If I can't find round bales, the rest of the cow herd is going. The sheep are doing great, by the way. Just a little bit of a plug for sheep. They are honestly thriving in these drought-like conditions. And if you guys would like a video on how I grew 1,000 pounds of grass-fed beef as an absolute beginner, tap right here and join me there.